I have like a lot of businesses mostly. But my big one, the big one that I want to work towards is YouTube.
I just wanted to let everybody listening know that it's not just having a business, because you don't want to create another full-time job for yourself. You want this to be passive. So the part about building a team and outsourcing everything is really, really important. So I manage a team of 8 remotely. Everybody works from home. So I'm not only helping people become landowners, but I'm helping stay-at-home moms earn an income because they're working for me in my business and they get to work from home and earn income from home. And then I manage the team, but I still have time to take my son to his activities. So it's really about not just creating a full-time job for yourself when you start a business, but growing and managing and leading a team.
Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started.
Welcome to the Becoming Wealthy podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Bosch, my co-host,
Sophia Bosch.
Sophia. And who do we have today?
We have Stacy and Drew.
Yes, we have Stacy and Drew Ollinger with us today. I hope I'm pronouncing this properly. And I got to meet Stacy. I think we met on Facebook, right?
We did.
We did. And you're a land investor. I know you are homeschooling Drew, and you are also tailoring a lot of his education towards, entrepreneurial activities. And I was so excited to hear about that I thought, oh my gosh, I need to bring you both here on the podcast so we can hear about the things that you guys are doing together and also learn about what you're doing in the land space, Stacy. So welcome. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. We are so honored and we are so blessed. And I am impressed with both of you ladies. Sophia, I have been listening to your podcasts and you are just one impressive young lady. You blow me away. Absolutely. And Michelle, I'm striving to be you in the land business for sure. I'm definitely taking notes on what you're doing.
We appreciate that. Absolutely. And that's the whole point, for people to do, what we've done faster, in an easier way. I don't want to discount the fact that you have to, put in the hard work, but where there's a model already and a blueprint and processes in place, for someone to follow. And I know that you are actually not a beginning investor in the land space. So I wanted to ask you, what is your background? How did you find land? And yeah, tell us a little bit about that. And then we'll go through.
I have a background in sales and in marketing, and I was actually working for a home builder in my town, a custom home builder, and it was an on-your-lot builder. They wanted the customer to come in with a lot already, and then they would pick out a house plan, design it, and build it. But 90% of the people who came through the door didn't have a lot already, so I had to help them find one. And my boss told me to, just network with the realtors. Take the realtors out to lunch, and you will find land deals for your customers. Well, that was not the case at all. Realtors don't like small commissions. They don't like land. They're not passionate about it. I was barking up the wrong tree with the wrong advice from my boss. So I said, you know what, I'm going to figure out this land piece. And so I did join several coaching programs and fell in love with land and, left the custom home building space. And now I'm strictly a land investor, buying and selling properties and selling them to the off-grid community. So anybody who wants to live off-grid, anybody who is living the RV van life, anybody who wants to hunt on it, shoot on it, camp on it, use it for recreation, or, people who just want to go out in nature and find peace and escape and have that be kind of their bug out location. Those are the types of people that I serve currently.
Yeah, that's awesome. Drew, welcome. And so based on what Mom was saying, that means that if she's not working for that builder, she gets to work from home. And
Yes.
are you excited about, having Mom as, because I know you guys are homeschooling, right? And so tell me a little bit about that experience. How does your typical day look like when, as a homeschooling 10-year-old?
Well, first, I get up whenever I want instead of having to get up with an alarm or anything. So that's one thing that's really nice.
That sounds so
The-
nice.
Yeah. And then I have to do school for like just a short amount of time since it's not going there for 8 hours and then having to do homework. So it takes me like, I get done by like noon.
Okay. That is
And then I get to just have the rest of my day to myself doing whatever I want to do.
okay. Very self-directed. Yeah, I love that. Very self-led.
I do remember that. Like, when I was in 4th grade, half of 4th grade we took off and they homeschooled me also. And so I do have a little bit of that experience. I did like waking up whenever I wanted. And then it was also like it was so surprising to me how like much material you can cover in so like
Compressed short of period.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. We did it for half a year. We wanted to travel. We've had before math and science before. I am not able to teach her. And so we decided to organize it in a way that we would be here in Arizona, home base for 4 weeks. And then we would travel, say, to South America for 4 weeks. And then you come back for 4 weeks. And so that's how we spent pretty much almost 6 months of the year doing traveled the world, and we were able to hit the entire year curriculum in 6 months and in 4-week chunks at a time, really dedicating time Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, it was
to really sit down for a few hours, like Drew is explaining right now, from like I would say like 8:30 till like noonish.
yeah,
And
like he was explaining.
and then basically Sophia would basically now then do other things, piano or other activities that she was interested. Um, how have you always been homeschooled from the beginning, Drew, or did you start at a specific grade?
No, but I started 4th grade.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
4th grade, that's when I started to do homeschool.
yeah.
A little bit earlier than that, probably at COVID time. So we've done public school, private school,
Yeah.
no school at all. We've done it where I'm the one coming up with the curriculum and teaching the curriculum. Now we've got some systems and structures
Yeah.
in place.
Yeah.
So you can talk about what's working right now and what's.
Sure.
You want to tell them?
So I go to an online school. It's called FPA, and they just give me curriculum, and I get done very early, and that's how I get the rest of my day. Really. I just do it, and
Yeah, he's with an online teacher and about 10 other kids online for about 2 hours. That's his class. And then he's got about 2 hours of practice or coursework.
Yeah.
After that.
To what he learned during the session. That
That
was
makes sense. The homework.
yeah for us as well. How we structure it, Stacy, is I actually I feel like I cheated a little bit because I actually hired our first grade teacher who had retired from the school because she decided to have babies and actually not go back to work. And she was doing this also for a few other students whose focus was mainly sports, golf and tennis.
Yeah.
And hockey, yeah. And so some of the kids that are really into sports and really looking at that in a more professional, with a more professional, outlook for the future, they don't want to spend also 8 hours in school when they could be practicing. So she was already doing that, and she was the one that basically helped us, hit those curriculum.
I don't think that was cheating.
No, that's not cheating. That's streamlining.
We were gone, those 4 weeks. Then she would send us with
My bags were so heavy because of all the stuff that she would send. It wasn't like everything was digital. Like, yes, we had certain things that were like I could do on the iPad or something, but it was mainly a big stack of papers.
Yes, and it was tailored, Drew. So, for example, if we were going to visit China, some of our social studies work was pertaining to the country where we were going to go visit. and
That's an amazing experience.
visiting that country really, really cool.
Yeah, because I already had background information, so when the tour guide was talking, I was like,
We went to Italy, to Pompeii, and we already like knew all the things that we were gonna see, and it was so amazing to actually go, to the site of where the volcanic eruption took place and actually see the stuff. So it was super fun, and
What
so now
experience. That's awesome.
yeah, so now Drew, tell me about I know you're very entrepreneurial and yeah, you've started a business. Tell us about your business.
Well, I don't. I have I have like a lot of businesses mostly, but my big one, the big one that I want to work towards is YouTube.
Okay.
"You too, okay."
Okay, so tell me how does that work? You're putting out content and what are you trying to
Yes.
sell or go ahead.
There's not really selling. You make content, which is very easy. You just have to get something to do that's interesting, record it, maybe edit it if you want, and post it. And if you get enough subscribers, like 500 subscribers, and you get money per 1,000 views, which is how you make money.
Ye-
I also had a
That is fantastic. Our producer is here and he's a YouTube expert and he's like blown away by you.
No, he's sitting here, like, nodding his eye, and like,
Really? Like, yeah. That's pretty amazing, Drew.
my other bit. I have 2 YouTube channels currently, but I have one that I'm really trying to work on.
And
But my
the name
other
of what's the name of the YouTube channel?
yeah, let's
I have 2 YouTube channels.
Okay, tell us.
One is still like I just made, so it's getting made currently, so it doesn't have a real name that's personally like right as right now. But right now it was Car Fanatic. It's a car YouTube channel, and then I made it like Car Guy or whatever.
yeah.
And my other one has been around for a lot longer. I have 1 subscriber currently on my new one because I made it like last night though.
Okay, thanks.
But I had videos already ready for it, so I already have like 3 views on like all my videos. But it's only 5. So what I say about YouTube videos get views, but not quickly and not enough.
Mhm.
But you get more subscribers from videos, I think, but you get more views from YouTube Shorts. So if you post a bunch of shorts, like I had my video, over a day, I gained like 2 to 3 views on all my videos,
Uh-huh.
and that was because they were shorts.
Yeah, because
On my other videos, I could go like a whole
spans. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, because everybody's on TikTok and all the social media, so nobody has an attention span long enough to withstand like those 15-minute videos.
They don't.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask, so these videos, like little shorts that you're posting, do you come up with the ideas yourself? Do you take inspiration from other things that you've seen? Like,
Well, there's lots of things you can do. You can edit it with templates. You can use templates, so then you just have to upload your own things, but it gives you all the editing for you. There's many ways you can do it yourself. You can use templates to help you, or you could just straight up use AI or copy off someone else's videos.
Yeah.
Lots of people just like use the audio in other people's shorts and put like ASMR stuff in front of it. I see those all the time. And those get like 3 million views and all that stuff.
ew. And I don't know why, but they do.
Yes. I think we should probably connect you with our producer and later he can give you some feedback and some, tips on things that you could be doing and improving to get your viewership up. I'm sure he would be.
Wow, that would be valuable.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would.
Awesome. Well, that is impressive. That is amazing. So YouTube, you have 2 businesses there. Any other entrepreneurial activities?
Yes, I have one. I sometimes go. Technically, I have 2 other things I would like to talk about.
Okay.
So let me talk about my business that was like my first ever, and I got a lot of money from.
Okay.
So I have this business. I named it myself. I made it straight up just from the grounds. I named it iSung. I tried to I for like iPhone because I used cardboard tech, and then sung for Samsung. So I was trying to combine those and make like
Makes sense.
cardboard technology. So I started off with just like making phones out of cardboard, like 3 layers of cardboard, and then use Sharpie to draw apps and everything. And that wasn't doing too well. So I was like selling rocks and everything with that. And some days I made like $60 and split it.
Deal. That
Yeah, I thought he'd come home with a big wad of money, and I was like, "What were you out doing? And who paid you that much?" And he's like, "Yeah, I sold a frisbee for like $20." And I was like, "What?"
that is impressive, Drew. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean,
He's got the charisma for sure.
He has a charisma, probably the salesmanship, because who doesn't really respect the hustle, especially on a 10-year-old? So my respect to you on that. That is fantastic. Now, for you, Stacy, how do you make sure that you keep him? I mean, I keeping him motivated. I don't think is a big problem, but how do you basically channel and make sure that that he is I don't know if you guys have in mind continuing through middle school or up through high school, the homeschooling, or at one point, like what are your goals, and kind of like how are you directing a little bit of that to create a little bit of bumper pads, I guess, for Drew to stay within, and he can have freedom within those bumper pads. I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, so he's very fast. He's like a horse behind the fence, and if you move that fence out of the way, that horse is gonna shoot out of the gate like pew. So he is so fast and picks up so much that yeah, I'm trying to teach him the foundations of sales, the foundations of marketing, good email writing skills, presentation skills, public speaking. Those kind of foundations and those kind of basics will enhance the natural spirit that he's already got. I don't need to keep him motivated. He's very motivated. So,
Yeah.
um,
I
we do plan to
Thankful-
finish high school as soon as possible. Like, if he can
Oh.
finish by age 16, that would be amazing. There's a program called Smarter by 1 Degree, and you can simultaneously get a high school diploma and college credit at the same time and graduate with both a high school degree and a bachelor's from taking the same classes.
Wow.
And so we're trying to
That seems
accelerate that. And plus, we're blessed. We're in Arizona. I don't know how many people listening are in Arizona, but there's about 29 out of the 50 states that have some sort of financial help for homeschooling, and we're blessed to have the ESA, which stands for Empowerment Scholarship Account. So that allows us to go on certain field trips. That allows us to hire a tutor for help. That allows us to buy our curriculum. That allows us to do lots of things that we wouldn't normally be able to do.
That is fantastic. Now, what about Drew? I know you're busy, out in the hustle, with your little businesses and so on and so forth. But do you miss having that interaction one on one with friends, or how are you getting that that social aspect in? Or how do you get it in?
oh,
Is that like to
I,
people?
That's not a problem for us. Tell them, honey.
um, I don't work on my businesses that often, it seems like. I have a lot of time to go socialize and no. I have a lot of my day that I just have to myself.
But he walks outside his front door and boom, instant friends that live right in our
Yeah.
neighborhood. So lots of friends there. He's got some online friends from gaming. And then we're going to golf, we're going to guitar, we're going to photography, we're going here, there, and everywhere there. So
Yeah.
he is definitely mixing and mingling and meeting people. Especially this season during the holidays with all the holiday parties. He's
Oh yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
immersed.
You have a busy, a solid holiday
schedule, right? A lot of cookies to eat. Yes.
So not cookies yet. I'm gonna cook some cookies. We're gonna cook them though. When we eat them.
Need to make some this
That was
weekend.
actually Sophia's first hustle, but it was for a nonprofit. She used to be a Girl Scout cookie, a girl, and she is basically selling cookies, knocking on doors.
Knock knock. Even when they had the no soliciting, I'm like, yeah, they can't say no to a little girl.
No.
Absolutely. Now, Stacy, I know that you're right now still investing in land. You're putting together actually a fund, for others to invest. Tell us about this fund. When did you create it? What went into putting it together? For anyone that is listening to this and they're already land investors themselves or investors in general. We actually put funds together for our multifamily, but I don't know what you're doing, in the land space. So we would love to learn. And I'm sure Drew would be interested as well.
Oh, thanks for asking that, Michelle. Yes, we're launching a fund right now. We're raising 2 million so we can deploy that capital and go out and buy more properties. And it's for accredited investors. So an accredited investor is anybody who by themselves is making more than 200,000 a year, or together with your spouse $300,000 a year, or has over $1 million in assets, not counting the house that they live in. So anybody who has rental properties or anything like that, if it's over $1 million, that makes you an accredited investor. So a world of opportunity and investing opportunities are available to you now once you are an accredited investor. So I always like to encourage, most people don't know what an accredited investor is. So I like to educate them on what it is, why you should strive to be one, because there's like this threshold, there's like this door that once you walk through it, you really have a chance to grow your money, and you are exposed to deals and exposed to people that you aren't exposed to when you're not accredited. Once you cross that threshold and walk through that door to being an accredited investor, boom, deals are showing up on your doorstep, and now you can really, really accelerate things.
So you're basically, so then the fund is not for a specific land like entitlement or development project. It's for multiple projects. It's not property specific, right? Or is it?
It is not property specific. So eventually that's what we're working towards, is getting into subdividing and entitling. We're not there yet. Right now we are simply selling on terms and selling with owner finance to retail buyers. So we'd like to scale that process and help more people become owners. We make land ownership easy and affordable for everybody, and we want more people to own land and less. We want Bill Gates to own less, and we want the American people to own more. And so we're trying to help them. That's who we're helping.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Makes complete sense, and I can see how basically, your entrepreneurial drive, like basically, I can see that Drew
As
didn't fall
influence.
far away from
Yeah.
the tree. The apple doesn't fall, very far from the tree. And for any of you know, women or families that are considering, because they have their own business, at home, that they're considering the possibility of homeschooling their kids. Um, what would you say to a family like that? Like, what made you decide to homeschool him, and what advice would you have for somebody that is looking to do the same?
Well, the thing that I see women struggling with the most when they decide they want to homeschool, but then the logistics set in and they go, well, how am I going to earn an income? How am I going to still make money and homeschool my child? I actually talked about this and presented on this at G. Edward Griffin's Red Pill Expo in June. I was on stage talking about this very, very topic because it's near and dear to my heart, and I see online so many women in particular are struggling with this. So my advice would be to don't try to do everything yourself. Don't try to be a one-man show. You're going to have to outsource some stuff. You're going to have to get some help. So what I did is I utilized the ESA, the Empowerment Scholarship, hired a tutor to come over and help us. So he's with a teacher for 2 hours, and then he's with the tutor for 2 hours. That's when I'm getting my work done on the computer. And then I can take him, around town to all the activities that we're involved in. So number one, outsource the homeschooling. And number two, find a way to make money from home. So land investing can be done from home. It's pretty easy to learn. Michelle has a great course. Sign up for Michelle's
And
course on how to do it.
we have many ladies, I can think of one specifically, Mahialani. She has been homeschooling her two boys. They were a little bit older when she came into the land investing world. And both of them are now, working in her business as well. And for her, she was like, Michelle, it was time for me to start thinking a little bit about past the time when I would stop homeschooling because they were a little bit older, teenagers, and I wanted to feel that I could provide, that bring some money to the table to the family and contribute to the family income. And now actually she has retired her husband from his construction work with land flipping, and it's truly become a family venture, entrepreneurial business. And so who knows, maybe we could get Drew interested in land in the future.
He is. You know what? No, he listens to my phone calls. He listens to me on the phone with folks, and I can hear him repeating what I say back to me. So I know it's sinking in. I know he's soaking it up like a sponge. I know he's getting it because of the way he talks and because of the sound bites that he says. Those are things that came out of my mouth, and I was like, oh yeah, he's picking up on that. He's picking it up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And sorry, I cut you off.
I just wanted to let everybody listening know that it's not just having a business because you don't want to create another full-time job for yourself. You want this to be passive. So the part about building a team and outsourcing everything is really, really important. So I manage a team of 8 remotely. Everybody works from home. So I'm not only helping people become landowners, but I'm helping stay-at-home moms earn an income because they're working for me in my business and they get to work from home and earn income from home. And then I manage the team, but I still have time to uh, take my son to his activities. So it's really about not just creating a full-time job for yourself when you start a business, but growing and managing and leading a team.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, I think, what gives us the opportunity to have the entrepreneurial freedom that we all start a business for. It's not just for freedom of money, but freedom of times. For me, I think is the new American dream. More
Yeah.
than the house with the white picket fence and so on and so forth. So
Plus, I wanted to add on the fact of like you see him picking up certain things. I know you are, Drew. Trust me, because you remind me of me when I was your age. I'm always listening to my parents. I doesn't matter. They might think I'm not, but I am. But I'm always listening, always picking up certain things. So much so you might not want to do land, but for me, I've done a land deal. So I started with it. It was a great way to learn some of the terminology ins and outs. So you might want to. It might not be like for me, it's probably not going to be my end career, but I say try it.
yeah.
What do you think is going to be your end career? What are you leaning towards? I'm so curious.
Um, well, I've really loved the art world, so I've always really been into painting, drawing, things like that. But I also love the business side of it. So maybe one day working in like owning my own gallery, something in that, something in that realm. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Very.
you need the land and the real estate to have a gallery, so
You do. You do.
you never know when you might need that knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, it has been such a pleasure spending time. Any last words of wisdom, Drew, for any kids that are listening out there that would like to start a business? What would you say to them? Or
Well,
homeschooling?
for homeschooling, you have to just do it. There's nothing really just besides doing the school. But it's easier, so you get your whole day. That's all I have to say about that.
That you sound like like a true like CEO, like a business owner, a businessman.
So what about the business? Like if one of your friends wanted to start a business, what would you tell them?
I would tell them follow your passion, whatever you want to do, and just and if it's the best way for me is social media because it's the easiest way nowadays to just make money and you can do it pretty fast.
Yeah.
So you just have to use other people's content. You sort of have to get all the resources you need and then throw them at their contents. And then you have all your content out there and you just let it rack up, but you keep responding to comments and like
You
say
do it all
thank you
without
to-
putting your face out there, right? You just have your logo out there.
Yeah.
you could put your face out there, those get lots of views. Just anything, but social media is one of the best ways to make money nowadays.
And I can definitely feel the passion behind that, Drew, and how you speak about it for sure. And I think that is the one piece of advice. I think that it's not just for kids. Adults need that piece of advice. Did you know that? Sometimes, people are in careers that they don't love, and 15, 20 years later, they realize they hate what they're doing. So I couldn't agree more with you on follow your passion.
Yeah, plus I feel like both of us, both Drew and I, we live in this world where everyone is now on our phones. Like we grew up with
Digital, yeah.
with one of these. So,
I don't have one. I don't have a phone.
but you're sitting at a computer, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. My point. But we all grew up on screen, so I think social media, I can see where that passion is also coming from.
Yeah. And who knows, you might use your face in the future, when you feel more comfortable, because you have amazing on-camera presence, let me tell you. So pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I do use on my other channel, I use my face in like 3 shorts.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Well, that's about all the shorts I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Drew. We love talking to you. Stacy, thank you so much for being with us today. If anyone would be interested in investing with you, learning more about your fund, about the things that you're doing in the land space, where can they find out more about you?
Yeah, it would be pathstones with an S, capital.com, and that will take you to a link to my Zoom calendar. I host weekly Zoom calls live where you can get on with me one-on-one, and I can explain the land business, how it works, and what the investment opportunity looks like one-on-one with you on a Zoom call. That way you're not you can kind of, get your questions answered without sharing too much of your personal information.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, thank you both. Thank you so much, Drew. I so appreciate you coming and being a guest here on Becoming Wealthy. And as soon as we are, we have the show completely edited and produced, we would make sure that, we distribute it across social media. And if you have an account, I'd be happy to tag you on that account and you can add it to some of your content or whatever you need.
Oh, that is generous.
Yeah, Stacy can go ahead. Your mom can go ahead and send it to me. You want to say something? Tell me.
Yes, so I know if there's anything that they need to connect with me, I do have an email that they can email me at, or if I need anything.
Right. Okay, yeah, please. You can send that in, and we can put it in the show notes, or you can tell us what the email is.
I'm sending it in the chat.
Here's that. Perfect. We will then include it on the show notes and make sure that it's in there so that any other kids can connect with you as well. Okay.
I just sent it in the chat.
Awesome. So with that, thank you so much. Thank you.
Ladies, you are both a blessing. You are both so generous. Thank you for having us on today.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, but we loved it. For those of you listening at home, thank you for being with us on another episode of Becoming Wealthy. I'm looking forward to spending time with you on the next episode. With that, thank you so much. And until the next one.